OK. Je pense que nous sommes en direct. I think we are live. Let me check. Let me check quickly. Yes. Yes! Whew! Wow. Hello, hello everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Welcome to this new episode of the Word of the Week with the Language Maven. I am your host, Eva Rissani, and it is once again my pleasure to share this moment with you. And, I thought of starting the week, well, not the weekend, ending, actually, it's the end of the week. Ending the week with something everyone is talking about. I am sure you like football. Well, I am not a fan, but when it's the World Cup or when it's like now the Africa Cup of Nations, then yeah, I'm interested. So let's use that today, shall we? And I thought of this as the word of the week in French. Donc, le mot de la semaine en français, Coupe d'Afrique des Nations, CAN, en abrégé. And do you know where it's happening? Do you know where it's happening? I'll tell you just now. So, what is the suggested translation, which actually is the official translation? Because I did a lot of research. And it is Africa Cup of Nations. And check the abbreviation, check out the abbreviation AFCON. So, while in French you had Coupe d'Afrique des Nations, CAN, in English you have Africa Cup of Nations, AFCON. Very interesting fact. So you see, you have to get your facts right and make sure that you know exactly what is the official translation of a name, of a place, of an event like such as this one. Now, I was saying, do you know where it is taking place? Well, in English, if we translate literally, you would say Ivory Coast, right? Ivory Coast. But now, in French, we say Côte d'Ivoire. Now, something you need to know that's very important is that the official translation of Côte d'Ivoire in English is not Ivory Coast. And I will explain why. I did some research. But I'm sure if you work with international organizations, with different countries, with different African countries, you've probably seen that we use Côte d'Ivoire quite a lot in English documents. So, why is that so? Why is that the case? And like I said earlier, I did some research and I'm going to share this with you. I find it so interesting. So, obviously, Côte d'Ivoire is French and the Ivory Coast is English. But as I said, you might have noticed that Côte d'Ivoire is often used in English as the name of the country. And the region of West Africa where you can find Côte d'Ivoire was long known as the Ivory Coast, or sometimes Côte de Dents, Coast of Teeth. I found all this information in a very interesting website, and I'm going to share the link with you so you can read it. So that was due to its importance in the ivory trade, and I'm sure you've heard of that too. It's very interesting because it tells us about the history as well, about colonizations and many other aspects. So the name came to be specifically associated with the French protectorate, which was formed in the 1840s and became a French colony in 1893 and gained independence in 1960, like many other countries, like Gabon, my country, and many other countries. The 60s was the period when, many African countries gained their independence. So after this point, the country continued to be known as Côte d'Ivoire in French. its official language, like in Gabon as well. French is the official language, and then translated literally into other languages, as is the case with most countries, right? But the government of Cote d'Ivoire, though, felt that this variety of translations was troublesome, probably because the name was so different in different languages. And so in 1986, therefore, the government declared République de Côte d'Ivoire and Côte d'Ivoire to be the only official forms of the name. Isn't it interesting? I think it's important to understand the history behind the word. It's important to understand the history behind a name of a country. And I think it's just important to understand or to be knowledgeable about those things, because then it helps you irrespective of what you do. You see, like, for example, if you work with international organizations, it is important for you to know that the official translation of Côte d'Ivoire in English is actually Côte d'Ivoire. Because if you use Ivory Coast, it is not wrong, but it is not the official translation of the word. And imagine sending an official letter, for example, to someone in Côte d'Ivoire. You want to make sure you use the appropriate translation, isn't it? So it is not wrong to say Ivory Coast, but it is important to understand that this happened, and therefore we use Côte d'Ivoire in French and in English. And that's it. We've come to the end of the show. Whoa. um, I hope that you really enjoy this episode. I I hope that your team, your favorite team, will win. you know. So thank you for tuning in. See you on Wednesday for another episode of the Wordplay Show. So you know that on Wednesdays, it's the Wordplay Show with the Language Maven. I really look forward to this, and I really look forward to playing with the secret language maven of the day. And remember to contact my company, Transcentral Pty Limited, for all your language needs, translating, interpreting, language training at director@transcentral.co.za. Or you can also check our website, www.transcentral.co.za. And I promise that I will share the link. So I found the information I shared earlier with you on this website very interesting. So it's about why do we say Côte d'Ivoire in English? And I think that it is something very important to know. So thank you once again for tuning in, and enjoy enjoy the Africa Cup, and may the best winners, the best players win, or the best teams win. Keep well. God bless you. Bye bye.